Welcome back. The U.S. National Day is a big deal wherever Americans are found. July 4th is celebrated with parties, barbecues, fireworks, and any and every reason to wear the American colors. Our people especially celebrating the landmark ruling by the Supreme Court on same-sex marriage and relationships. We'll talk about the impact on the rest of us a little later. Over at the Consul General's residence in Lagos, there was a party during the week, but it was with mixed feelings that it would be the last to be celebrated here by the outgoing Consul General, Mr. Jeffrey Hawkins. It would be the last time Mr. Hawkins would host anyone in this residence, but he thought it a good idea to have colleagues, friends and family in Nigeria here one more time before leaving. It is also the U.S. National Day celebration, but there will be no fireworks. For one, because it's raining, and for security reasons. The room is soon filled with gaily dressed people, and the food and drinks soon follow consistently. People chatter about the soft music provided by Babatunde Sosana on the piano, while catching up on previous discussions or engaging in new ones with new acquaintances. This is one of the few occasions the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador James Nkweso, is in Lagos. It is a special one. He speaks highly of Mr. Hawkins, whom he said played a vital role towards peaceful elections in Nigeria.
The examples of what they have achieved here in Lagos are too many to count. I've mentioned our marvelous election work. I've mentioned Ebola. The list goes on and on. There's a great story about Secretary Kerry's visit here in Lagos that involves Annie. I'm sure she'll mention it later. But we're tremendously grateful to both of them.
Mr. Hawkins will be missed by a lot of people in the room, but more dearly by his wife Annie, who has experienced Nigeria through his eyes. She will be joining him later.
Jeff, you inspire me. At many instances, you'll come home, and say, Annie, please sit down. And you'll tell me, all your very ambitious projects. You'll tell me about all the plans that you have in your head. How you wanted to make, the big change in the Niger Delta. How you wanted to support a sci-fi project. Why you wanted to have peaceful elections in Nigeria. Or, how fighting Ebola should be priority number one for everyone. Well, I will be looking at you with my very big eyes, and the result that I'm seeing is that you achieved everything that you wanted.
Then Jeff, as is fondly called, makes his last official remarks.
Nigeria has accentuated and improved and enhanced my own Americanness, our own Americanness here in the consulate. And there are so many things that we have in common. There are so many things that are different. And all those commonalities and all those differences have come together to make me appreciate your country and to make me appreciate mine.
Mr. Hawkins has had nearly 20 years of experience working in the U.S. Foreign Service. We wish him all the best in his new assignment. Mr. Hawkins is moving on from here to take on a new assignment in the Central African Republic. But like every good American, he has come to call Nigeria home. His family is very comfortable here, but Nigeria is not the only African country that Mr. Hawkins has served as an official of the U.S. Foreign Service. He served as Deputy Chief of Missions at the U.S. Embassy in Luanda, Angola, between September 2008 and August 2010. Before then, he was in France, then Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, India, and also in Côte d'Ivoire in varying capacities. However, if cleared by the U.S. Senate, he takes on his first ambassadorial appointment in the Central African Republic. During his last exclusive interview with us, he spoke about what the U.S. really thinks about Nigeria. Mr. Jeffrey Hawkins, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an interesting 3 years you've had in Nigeria. What perceptions of Nigeria have changed from the time you came and now that you're leaving?
Knew intellectually coming here that this was a big, important country, one where the U.S. had a lot of interest. I didn't realize that it was going to have the breadth of talent and the breadth of economic might and regional. I mean, people tell you about that, but it's one thing to hear about it, and it's another thing to experience it. And I'm really struck when I first arrived. Some very kind people in the consulate organized a nice reception for me, and Chimamanda Adichie did a reading at that, and there were all these sparkly, glowing Nigerians at this thing, and she was so wonderful, and I was like, oh my God, this is a serious place, and these are serious people, and it's that appreciation has grown with every day that I've been here.
I know for most people they think that, you know, with what's going on in northeastern Nigeria, the whole country is on fire and so on. But what does America really think about Nigeria?
Well, I mean, I think, and if you read our travel advisory for our American citizens, you'll see it's quite nuanced, and this is a big country. And there are parts of the country, and particularly the Northeast, where security is a challenge. There are other parts of the country, like Lagos, where I live and work. Well, sure, there are issues and there's crime and that sort of thing, but we go about our daily business just fine, and we're perfectly happy to see other Americans do that too. So it depends on where you are and what the individual situation is. But by and large, this is a country that many Americans live in, work in, visit, and do so successfully and happily.
And your country has been promising Nigeria's support in the fight against Boko Haram. What do you intend to do differently now that we have a new administration?
Well, I think a lot of what we need to work on right now is just sort of the dialogue around security issues. For that dialogue to be fully fruitful, you know, President Buhari will need to get his new security team in place and all the rest. But even now, that engagement is happening and is very full and rich. And it's important to recall that there was a tremendous amount of engagement happening before the elections, and a lot of those things are continuing, whether it's, you know, work with the Nigerian Navy or work with the Nigerian Army, or sharing information about the activities of Boko Haram on a daily basis with Nigerian military counterparts. Security force to security force, cooperation or police to police, you know, bomb tech training. You know, there's just a vast variety of things that are happening, were happening before and will continue. And I hope when President Buhari goes to Washington to see my president, that they'll reach some you know, good deal of understanding on the common way forward.
Don't go away now. We'll be right back with more on our conversation with Mr. Hawkins.